What's up, guys? I am finishing a workout. It's like 6 p.m. I just closed on the largest property I've closed on yet, and it got me thinking, got me reflecting a little bit. We are in December. It's the end of the year. I made a video recently about separation season. Let's use this last month to really push ourselves, which is what I'm trying to do. I set a really big goal for this next year coming up, but it's starting now in December. And closing this deal, I actually had a comment from someone. One of my buddies asked me what the numbers looked like, day one on this deal. And I was honest with him. I'm like, dude, I don't really know. I mean, I ran my initial numbers, and if anyone knows me in my personal life, you know that I'm not a super analytical numbers guy, more big picture. But this deal, I knew that it was a deal. I didn't know exactly what the numbers looked like. I didn't know exactly what my cash on cash return is gonna be, or exactly what my going in cap rate is. But that's my point. So I know people in my life who are on the extreme. I may be a little bit too loose on my numbers. I just like to make things happen. But then there's the other extreme of things where guys get so tied up in the analytical, how's this gonna work out? What are the numbers really gonna be, that they don't do anything at all. And so that's my point in this video, is you gotta get uncomfortable. You gotta push yourself. If you are the analytical guy, you just gotta pull the trigger on something, make it happen, close on it, and you're gonna learn from it. So one of my favorite quotes that I had hanging up in my wall in my parents' house when I used to live there, it was something along the lines of, your most magnificent life lies right on the other side of your comfort zone. And I love that, and it's something that I try to remind myself to get uncomfortable every day. Look, let's face it, we live in the United States of America, most of us, most of you guys who are watching probably do, where it is so comfortable. We have so much here, so much opportunity. You could sit at home and collect unemployment or whatever people do, and live a comfortable life. You're gonna have a cell phone. You're gonna have a nice, decent apartment. And that's crazy, because when we get comfortable, we become complacent, we no longer push ourselves, and eventually our life just goes like this. I don't know how I'm trying to word this, but if we're not continuously pushing ourselves and pushing ourselves past what we think our limit is, then we never really improve, we never really get better. There's some sort of saying like, you're either growing or you're dying, which I'm kind of a hypocrite when it comes to the gym, because I've been slacking hardcore. But it's the same thing with business. If you're not pushing yourself, if you're not growing by pushing yourself past your limit, you're gonna be dying. So again, back to this deal that I just closed. It's a pretty large transaction for myself, and honestly, today after I signed the paperwork, it kind of all hit me. I'm like, holy cow, how in the world am I gonna do this? I mean, it's almost like it kind of hit me after the fact of like, oh shoot, like I've got a lot of responsibility here with this property, and way more than I've ever had before. And I'm thankful that it hit me now rather than before, because I likely, maybe would have walked away from the deal, just thought, I don't really know what the numbers look like, or I don't know if I can really handle it. But now that I'm in it, I mean, it's kind of like you're jumping out of the plane without a parachute, and you gotta figure, well, that's not a very good analogy, because if you jump out of a plane without a parachute, you're pretty much screwed. But it's kind of like that, instead of, ready, aim, fire, it's kind of like that, ready, fire, and then you aim. It's kind of how I live my life sometimes, maybe too much to that way. Another guy who lives his life that way is actually my buddy Clayton Rolling Operations, as you guys probably know, and a lot of you follow him and myself. He's a really good example of someone who just freaking pulls the trigger and just makes it happen. Half the time I'm like, Clayton, you're an idiot, and this isn't gonna work, but somehow he makes it work. And so if you're one of those super analytical, super worried about all the details, you gotta have everything just buttoned up perfectly, you're probably not gonna get very far. And it's my advice, either really push yourself outside of your comfort zone, maybe partner with someone who's more of the mindset of like, hey, let's just get this thing done and figure it out later. But you just gotta get uncomfortable, guys. So Yeah, we're gonna break down a little bit more of this deal that I just closed, hopefully here in the next couple weeks. I'm starting to become a little less prone to just throwing my whole life out there. It's kind of a weird feeling. As Clayton will attest, you know, he gets a lot of phone calls now from people all over the place, and there's a lot more people local watching me than I actually even think about. So it's nice to have some sort of privacy in my life. So I keep things a little more vague than maybe I used to, but I will break down and show you guys this property here soon. And I've got another property I'm like even more excited about. I don't think I've mentioned it at all on this channel yet. I close on that the end of December, first part of the new year. And that video, or that property, I'm gonna be making a lot of videos about. I'm super excited about it. I think it'll be a fun one to document. So until then, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It actually really does help the channel. As my channel is starting to taper off, the views really help. I had a couple of videos go like viral. I have like 250, 350,000 views on a rolling dumpster video, of course. But that's starting to taper off. So hitting the like button really does help the channel out. Even though this is kind of a hobby for me, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of fun, making a little bit of money on it. It buys groceries for the month, pretty much. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.